What up, dude bros? I'm Frank. This is a video review of a few Nerf Nitro blaster launcher things. Bulk review because this is a foam flinging entertainment channel and these do fling foam cars, but I focus primarily on blasters because you can shoot people with them, and while you can shoot these at people, they're not really designed for that. The Nerf Nitro series, if you're unfamiliar with it, is a series of blasters which you see here, which are designed to shoot foam cars. And instead of shooting them through the air, you're supposed to launch them on the floor, up ramps, into targets, or into stuff. You use your creativity, shoot it at whatever you want, really. Think launchable Hot Wheels, but Hot Wheels are metal, so if you like throw them at something, you could actually hurt it. These are foam, so they're safe to fling around your home without your mom getting upset that you break lamps and stuff, so that's cool. The Hasbro PR team was nice enough to send me a few samples, which you see here, along with a Nerf Nitro hat, which reminds me of NASCAR, because of the, checkered flag, and even a checkered flag. Even though, to my knowledge, there's no way to really effectively race these things, it's more about the stunts and to crash the little cars into stuff. And let's get real, even if they're designed to be raced, that would get boring quickly, so shoot them off ramps into stuff, way more fun. Pretty long video, so the table of contents will let you jump to one particular set if you want to, or just watch it all the way through to get information on everything. The blasters come in sets, so the retail price doesn't necessarily reflect the performance or even like the awesome sauceness of the blaster itself, because some of the more expensive ones also come with additional stunts and like extra little accessories. Over here, Throttleshot Blitz for $10 US. Right here is the Longshot, not a normal Longshot. Hasbro, come on. You only have a few of these. Did you really have to recycle that name? The answer is no, but you did anyways. This one retails for about $20 US. The Flashfury, which is really the only different one. These look a little different, but they're all single fire. The Flashfury has a little gravity-fed hopper unit up here. So it has a capacity of greater than 1 cars, which is kind of crazy, just because they're cars and not darts. But this retails for about $30 US, and the dual fire set, which comes with 2 blasters and more accessories than anything else, for $40 US. So they launched with an array of price points from $10 to $40 US, and of course the different accessories come with different packs, which I'll get to one by one right now. I'll go from cheapest to most expensive, starting out, of course, with the Throttleshot Blitz. Included is the blaster launcher, 1 car, 2 obstacles, even though it looks like multiple tires. That's some trickery up in there, and the instructions. The Throttleshot is a spring-powered single-shot launcher to fire, or to launch. You pull back on the priming handle, then you grab a car, you put it in the front like this, and then you press the trigger. This, along with all the launchers, have safeties on the base here, so it has to be depressed in order to press the trigger. That's so you set it flat on the ground before you fire. Of course, you can override it by pressing it down in the event that you want to launch it at somebody, but I'd recommend a missile launcher or a mega blaster if you're trying to shoot at somebody with a big projectile, although it's pretty hilarious to see these things fly through the air. There are no tactical rails, no iron sights or anything, which actually does make it difficult to fire along with all of these. Very simple blaster to understand though. That's it. That is the Throttleshot Blitz. Now on to the Longshot kit. Included is the blaster or launcher, a few obstacles, a ramp, 2 cars, and the instructions. The Longshot is also a single-shot spring blaster. To prime, you pull back on the handle like this. Oh, this one's already primed. To prime, you can pull back on this handle like that, and then you front load in 1 car, like that. It also has a little safety, which you have to depress before you can fire. That just looks so funny. So that's a 2-step loading. You prime it and then you hand load, or you can just shove a dart or a car, up into the barrel or loading area. And if you could see that, I loaded it and primed it in one go. So there's really no reason to ever prime it in the rear, because if you have to load it anyways, it takes a little bit more force because you're priming the spring, but just seems easier. Externals of the blaster, I think it looks cool. It looks like a laser gun, but there are no in-strike tactical rails, no functioning opening or cavities or really anything to point out. But those are the externals. Pretty easy to understand. That is the Longshot. Now on to the Flashfury. Included is the blaster launcher, the handle for the blaster, 3 cars, 6 obstacles, 2 pop-up target sets, 1 stunt ramp, and the instructions. The bolt handle. The Flashfury is a spring-powered blaster, but it has a gravity-fed loading system. Loading, it's easy. You just drop cars in. Each car is directional. It has a front, and they do need to be pointed in the front direction. But in the cavity, you just drop it in. This is the 5th car, and it's popping out, and then I prime the blaster like that, and then it's now chambered, or whatever word you want to use. Chambered seems appropriate to chamber up that car. I primed it using the little bolt handle on the side here. The draw stroke is only like 1 inch, so it feels kind of adorable. And after you do that, and you have one chambered, you're ready to fire. It, just like all of them, have a little safety on the bottom. You press that, pew! Then you have to manually prime and that cocks the spring and it chambers another car to go pew. It doesn't have a top to the hopper, but because it's not a blaster, you won't be like running around a Nerf field to drop them like that. You're just like on the floor shooting them, so I don't think that's a big deal. Externals, again, look really cool, but nothing else to really point out. It does have a sling mount right here, just in case you need to tactically sling it. That's pretty cool. Don't know when you'd use it, but you know, it's nice that you gave us the option, Hasbro. Way to go. I had a number of jams, or I should say misfires, because it really didn't actually jam. To solve my problem, I just reprimed and fired, and for some reason it launched the second time. But if you do get a car stuck in the blaster, you have an access door over here, which you lift up, and then you can get your finger in there to clear out the car. Just like if you jam a Nerf blaster, you open up the access door, you clear it out, and keep going. So yeah, it holds a few cars, it goes pew pew. That's that blaster. That is the Flashfury set. Now to the Duelfury sets. Included are 2 blaster launchers, 4 cars, 2 ramps, 8 obstacles, and 2 maybe fire ramps and the instructions. The Duelfuries are identical blasters. This one's blue and this one's green, but they are the same in performance, function. The shell molding is all the same. It's just a different color. This one is very similar to the Longshot in the fact that it's a spring-powered single-shot blaster. It's also just like the Throttleshot, but the Throttleshot has like a really minimalist frames. But you can prime the blaster using this handle like that. Then you shove in a car right up the ramp, and it clicks. It has a safety, just like the other ones, so it's supposed to be on the ground, but I'm not on the ground, so. Feels like a Fast and Furious movie up in here. They're just flying through the air. And just like the Longshot, instead of priming then loading, you can load and then prime and shove it up in there, and that does both at once. No external features to really point out. I mean, again, they look cool, super aggressive, like little laser guns and little sling mounts with a really low clearance, so I'm not sure a sling could actually go in there. It's kind of like a fake sling mount, but you know, style points, woo! But yeah, pretty easy externals to understand. And that is the Duelfury set. So other than the Flashfury, which has the gravity-fed loading system right here, these 4 are pretty much the same blasters, more or less. I mean, they're all Jolt reskins, of course. Just kidding, but I'm not. But they're all just spring-powered single-shot blasters, so one's really not going to perform like substantially better than the others. And my background is in blasters, or guns that I'm free-holding and I want to like run really hard in order to defeat another human. These really aren't marketed in the same way, so the ergonomics of a particular launcher isn't really quite as important because, well, first, you're not actually like holding it, trying to point it, put it into a pocket. You just kind of set it down and press the trigger. So if it's a little uncomfortable, because you have to set it on the floor and it has to support it at all times anyways, it's hard to like complain about the ergonomics because it just doesn't seem as significant. I'm only bringing that up because unless you really dislike the appearance of one or you really like one, I would recommend, if you're interested in the Nitro line, to shop the accessories and the price points instead of like the actual launchers, because these are pretty much the same. The flywheel one that will be launching in the fall and the Flashfury, which has the gravity-fed loading system, those are like different enough to say, okay, you want the magazine or whatever, or you want the flywheel so you can go semi-auto. That's a good reason to move into these, but these are effectively the same. But let's see them all in action. So on to the firing test, or the launching test, the racetrack. Don't even, yeah, let go. Starting off with the throttle shot. Let's take it off the big jump first. Oh yeah. The fiery ramp thing. It's difficult to aim these things. There are no like sights, and I haven't used them quite enough to really aim them well. Oh, I hit it, but okay, my spacing's off. Flew over the flames like a boss. Blue reactive target here. That's kind of fun. And the big ramp one more time. That one's the most gratifying because you don't have to line it up. It's kind of hard to miss. Now that I said that, I'm going to miss it later. Now to the long shot. Also just a single shooter, so it's pretty much going to be the same. Start with the big ramp. Reactive thing. That wasn't what I was going for. Take that. Ha! Let's try the other flame trap. Way overshot that. Still fun though. It's the long shot. Rearmed with my cars. Changed the distances. Now to the Duelfuries in blue and green. This comes as a set. Duelfury at the same time. That was pretty cool. not a sniper over there. Wasn't paying attention to over there. I'll just shoot one at a time since dual wielding is tricky. Okay, I should be able to manage this. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Now to the last one, the Flashfury. Okay, so maybe some rapid fire off the ramps. I don't know the right word since it's a car launcher, that's not even like a thing. But if it were a dart blaster, it would be equivalent to not chambering the round correctly. There we go. Now the ramps and stuff are fun, but I'm gonna knock some stuff down now. I have a better target. Much bigger target. That sounded more violent than it was. I was just trying to move them, not like ruin their day. Okay, that one I was. Rapid fire is the most fun, so I'll stick with this guy. Okay, got a few loaded. It's still too powerful. Okay. Let's go. Let's destroy some cups. Cups are almost too easy because they're so big. What is this, a racetrack for ants? Now I'm definitely going to miss. Or feel like an absolute sniper if I do hit them. They better explode in a gratifying way. Yeah, okay, that was pretty cool. Yeah, so that's the performance demo. I don't really have anything else to compare it to. I played with Hot Wheels when I was younger, but this isn't really like Hot Wheels. This isn't like anything else I've ever done. So I guess the performance is good in the sense that it's the best I've ever seen, but it's also the worst because it's the only thing I've ever seen. But in all seriousness, the performance of the spring blasters or like the single shot ones was pretty much the same. I did have a few loading issues, which I left in the firing demo. I am loading it and priming it just as they say in the instructions, but it's just like not chambering correctly. I don't think you chamber a car ready to fire, but you don't launch cars either, so I don't even know the right words to choose here. But that's a little bit frustrating, and when I was just testing like off camera, just trying to have fun with them, I very quickly just put this one down and went to the single shooters because they worked every time. Until you throw them off your table. Whoops. So now that I've played with all the cars for a few hours and I've shot them, tried to knock down obstacles off ramps, and I do most of my testing off camera, and then I just try to represent what I did on camera afterwards. But now that I've used this stuff, I can kind of more or less give you my opinion on the future of the Nerf Nitro line. I personally got bored rather quickly. If I was trying to compete with somebody and trying to say, oh, I bet you I can make this shot, you can't. You know, it could get fun and it could be more sustained. I can happily play with Nerf guns for hours inside my house. And that's why I still do this, and I still love playing with Nerf blasters, because I personally just don't get bored. I can always just target shoot something. With these, it did get a little boring. Furthermore, it took a lot of attention to set up these little barrels and to set up all the ramps and stuff. And once you shoot the first car through it, it pretty much messes everything up, so then you have to reset it. So it just takes a lot of time, and it seemed kind of like a hassle. I'm not the target market of Nerf blasters. I'm 25, but I still love playing with Nerf blasters. I do think this target market might be a little under Nerf blasters as far as the age demographic goes. So I'm not sure I'm the right person to be reviewing these. I do have ample experience with foam and foam flinging, and these are foam. and you fling them, but I certainly wouldn't put a blanket statement on, okay, you like Nerf blasters, you're definitely going to like Nerf Nitro. I wouldn't say that at all. After using the obstacles that came with the different kits, I think it would be more fun to use the ramps because these are angled in a particular way that's kind of great for these cars, meaning making your own ramp might be a little tricky because it'll be bumpy or whatever. But taking their ramps and then setting up your own obstacles like houses of cards or cup triangles or something like that, that is how I made it fun for myself pretty quickly. Because yeah, I want to go off jumps and do cool 360s, but after you do it a few times, whatever, then I just want to start knocking stuff over. I'm not an aggressive individual, but my favorite part after building a Lego thing was destroying it and rebuilding it. We can build it stronger. We have the technology, or even force it. But as far as the observable things without my opinion goes, the spring single shot blasters worked just as advertised. The ramps worked just as advertised. And I've had a lot of kind of weird review opinion conclusions, but this is probably one of the weirdest because I'm just not qualified to state an opinion, at least one that carries any weight. I had fun. I just think it's somewhat limited, but it's a completely different hobby. You know, like if I reviewed a Hot Wheel, I'd probably say, you know, I don't really get it. This isn't as much fun, but I don't have that as a hobby. I don't do Hot Wheels. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm not bashing the line other than this one and the feeding issues, which I've covered. Honestly, the feeding issues that I experienced would be enough to recommend that you don't buy this one. The single shot ones just worked fine every time. This one had probably jams every time I tried to shoot it. But hopefully the firing demo and the product overviews have given you everything you need to know whether or not you'd like to purchase any of these. I will have individual purchase links to each kit in the description box if you'd like to buy them. And I want to restate, just because the FTC recently attacked some Instagram people, the Hasbro PR team did send me all of these free of charge. So there you go, FTC. Yeah, come at me, bro. But I'm very thankful for the Hasbro PR team and this cool hat. So I kind of want to just go to NASCAR. Got to go NASCAR. Oh man, he turned left, then he turned left again. Then he turned left again. I'm ready to go to NASCAR. Let's get some Bud Light in my RV. Yeah, they gave me a checkered flag too. How appropriate, because it's the end of the video. That's it. Thanks so much for watching, bros. As always, stay tactical.